What is going on, everyone? It's your boy C5 Zach back again, man. Hope y'all are having a great day or night, whatever time it is when you're watching this. Today I wanted to talk about the top 5 mods for your C5 Corvette. All right guys, without wasting any time, I'm just gonna get right into it. So number 1, and this is in order of what I think ranks best as far as, you know, what you should prioritize if you just get a C5 Corvette. So number 1 on the list, on my list, we got coilovers. As you guys know, or may not know, these cars come with leaf springs. Yeah, fiberglass leaf springs. Even the C6 and I believe C7 uses the leaf spring setup as well, just like your pickup truck. So obviously it's a little different. It's a different setup, different kind of leaf spring, but it is still a leaf spring suspension. While they do work fairly well, there's some issues with it, man. They can crack, especially being over 20 years old now. And that's just not something you want to happen. You don't want your leaf spring to crack while you're going down the road. Number 1 thing I think you should do for your C5 Corvette or C6 is coilovers. Pretty much the first thing I did when I got this car about 3 or 4 years ago, I went with the silvers coilovers, just the normal height. And it was a huge improvement, man. My suspension was pretty beat up. It was all squeaky and the shocks were blown, and so obviously it's a huge improvement. I'm really glad I did it. Coilovers, really dial in that ride. You know, you can take it to track days, tear up the twisties, back roads, drag race, whatever you want to do. It's just an all around really good improvement, really good first mod to do. It just makes the car driving experience a whole lot better. Even if the engine is stock and everything else, you'll feel like the car is faster. Probably will be a little faster, especially around turns and stuff. And you can dial in, you know, your ride height, dial in your stiffness, compression, rebound, all that good stuff. I went with silvers. There's other brands out there. I'm not gonna recommend one or the other. I've only tried silvers, so that's all I know for Corvettes. But if you guys have any input on what you like, if you have coilovers, let me know, leave it down below, and we can discuss it, man. But yeah, I think that's my number 1 mod, man. First thing I did, coilovers, huge improvement. It rides so much better. And yeah, it's a pretty affordable mod. It's, instead of, you know, going with C6 shocks or Bilsteins, which are a few hundred, I say just do it right the first time, pony up the extra money, and just get the coilovers and be done with it, man. I think I paid $1,100 or $1,200, but this was also 3 to 4 years ago. I'm not sure what the prices are now. So yeah, that's about, you know, for an entry-level set, I think that's about pretty normal, pretty average. So expect to spend about $1,200, and the install was easy. I did it myself. Never doing it before, did it myself. I did it on my buddy Sharif's C5 Corvette. If y'all want to check out that video, man, I show you how to install these same silvers coilovers that I have. And yeah, we dialed in his car as well. He loved it, made a huge difference. And it's just a great upgrade. Coming in at number 2, man, I'm gonna say aftermarket seats. And you wanna get a good quality aftermarket seat. I know I see people get the Amazon seats and, oh, they're fine. It's, you know, it's just a seat. Those seats are honestly junk, man. If you wreck, they're gonna snap in half, bend in half, and you can probably break your back, be paralyzed, or even worse. I'd stay away from those seats if I were you. I know they're cheap. They're cheap for a reason, man. This is another thing. It's just better to do it right the first time, man. Spend the extra money, get the better quality stuff, do it right the first time. And it's also safety. You're literally risking your life, you know, driving around in a cheap seat, or just spend the extra money, get a good quality seat, and it should hold up in a wreck, you know, God forbid. But seats are gonna be my number 2 mod though, aftermarket seats. The stock C5 seats, man, I think are pretty terrible, not gonna lie. They look decent, they feel decent as far as comfort goes, but actually holding you in the car, if you do any kind of spirited driving at all, they just do not hold you in, man. I remember sliding all around the car when I had my stock seats. And I've heard some people like them, but until you get a set of aftermarket seats or sit in a set of them, you just don't know what you're missing out on. Like, the stock seats just don't hold you in at all. It honestly gives you a very different driving experience. Makes it a whole lot better. As soon as you install the seats, it's like you're just more planted. The car handles better, you know, in your head, because you're more, because you're just stuck in the seat. You're not sliding around. So it gives that feeling of the car performing better. You're staying in the seat. You're not sliding around. They feel better, in my opinion. And all around, I think it's just a really good investment, really good upgrade. Get rid of your stock seats, man. And so I went with the Corbo A4s. Corbo makes a bunch of seats specifically for this car. You got the Evo X, the A4, and I believe a couple other models, could be wrong, but that are designed specifically for Corvettes. Because if you didn't know, the cockpit's pretty tight in here. There's not a lot of room. Most aftermarket seats, I believe, will not fit, or you have to do some heavy cutting, modifying to get them to fit. These bolt right into place. You just have to get their brackets, or you can, you know, custom fab up with the stock brackets, but I got Corbo's brackets, bolted right in, super easy install. I've had these, I think, at least 2 years now. Held up great, no issues. Done autocross with them, you know, street driving. They feel great. They're pretty decent on long road trips, I think, in my opinion. Obviously, everyone's different, man. Different preferences, but they feel good to me. They hold me in. I'm 6'1" and about 220 pounds right now. So, yeah, they sit about the same height as stock, I would say. If anything, I think it's a little lower than stock height. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know there's other brands out there as well. You got Brom, you got Recaro, Sparco. I've seen other seats fit in these cars, but Corbo by far is the #1 seat I see in C5 Corvettes. They just bolt right up. If you guys do want to use the link below, it helps me out. Sadly, it does not give you a discount. I really wish it did. But if you want to buy some Corbo seats, use my link below, man. It helps me out, helps the channel out. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're going to buy some anyways, it'd mean a lot to me. So yeah, man, I think aftermarket seats are going to be my #2 mod for your C5 Corvette. And they just give you so much better driving experience. I think it's totally worth it. These also come in around $1,000, I believe, with the brackets. But, you know, you can shop around, you can find them used, or, you know, whatever you got to do. I would stay away from those Amazon seats, those eBay seats. I just don't think it's worth it, man. Save up the extra money, do it right the first time, get a good quality brand, and be done with it. All right, guys, and coming in at my #3 mod for your C5 Corvette, it's gonna be an aftermarket radio, man. These things, like I said, they're 20 years old, some of them over 20, 25 years old or so, like my car. And the stock radio, man, it's just not cutting it anymore. If you really wanna upgrade your overall driving experience and just bring the car into the 21st century, get an aftermarket radio, double din preferably. That's what I did. And I wish I didn't take, you know, like 2 years to get it. I finally did it last year, I believe. I made a video on that. If you guys want to watch that install, go check it out. I did a double din Pioneer, love it, and paired it with the subwoofer as well. Go check out those videos if you want to see more of that stuff. Total game changer, man. Having CarPlay and Android Auto, if that's what you have, it really just changes the car, especially if you actually drive it, put miles on it. It's so nice to have that CarPlay. And just adding that aftermarket head unit, if you keep the stock speakers, it makes them sound even better. And obviously you can opt to go to aftermarket speakers like a Kenwood, JBL, what have you. But I kept the stock Bose system for now. I think it's fine, especially paired with the sub that I did. It's plenty for me, sounds just fine. Aftermarket head units, man, that's gonna be my #3. It really just makes for such a better driving experience. The gaps on it aren't perfect on my center console. I just did the cheapest option. That's why the gaps aren't the best. There's other options out there. There's the Vet Nuts bezel, which I think is like $200 or $300, but it's supposed to be perfect fitment, just like OEM, even though we all know OEM didn't fit perfect. It had gaps and stuff, but yeah, man, get rid of that junk 20-year-old plus radio that's just AM, FM, and I think a CD player. I even still have mine. I need to sell it. I'm looking at it right now. If you guys want one, I still got mine, let me know. But definitely go with an aftermarket head unit, man. I will link mine below. I don't have an affiliate link or anything. I just really like this head unit, so I'm gonna link it below. It's a Pioneer, and yeah, I'll link it below for you guys. I love it. It has like the anti-glare screen and everything, and it's just a really nice addition. There's obviously other units you can do. So yeah, I highly recommend getting an aftermarket radio, and all around just much better driving experience. And if you haven't noticed, that's a common theme so far. It's making the driving experience better. So with that being said, we're gonna move into number 4, which probably one of my favorite mods, and that's gonna be exhaust. So exhaust for these cars, if your car somehow still has a stock exhaust over 20 years later, it happens. If you really wanna have some fun, throw some long tube headers, catless X pipe. You'll be having fun doing pulls, waking up your neighbors, pissing people off, but it's a great driving experience, man. Having long tubes, full exhaust on these cars really wakes them up too. You'll probably add about 20 or so horsepower just doing full long tubes and X pipe. And so my car has Speed Engineering 1 7/8 long tube headers with their catless X pipe, 3-inch, I believe, yeah, 3-inch catless X pipe, back to a Corsa Sport axle back is what I have on this car. I used to be straight piped, which is just a muffler delete, but I got tired of drone with that, honestly, so I just threw on these Corsa Sports a couple months ago. Love them. They sound really good under load, at idle, and they don't drone at all. Like, I can actually listen to my aftermarket head unit, actually talk to people in the car, and not want to blow my brains out. So there's that. Highly recommend doing an aftermarket exhaust, man. They can be anywhere from $400 to $2,000 for just a long tube and X-pipe combo. The Speed Engineering setup with the long tube and catless X-pipe, I believe is like $400 to $500. That's what I've always ran on my Vettes, and my other friends, they've installed them and loved them. We did it on my buddy Tristan's C5 a few months ago. Made a video on that. Go check it out as well. You guys can see the install on that. That's the same Speed Engineering setup I got on this car. And the install is super easy with them, honestly. They fit great. They're super cheap, and what's not to love about that? So I recommend Speed Engineering. There's other kits out there, like I said. You can spend $2,000, you know, for American Racing or whatever other brands there are, but Speed Engineering, you can't go wrong with it for the price, man. Having an exhaust, it just makes the car so much more fun. Of course, you know, you want to have a loud LS1 V8. While you're driving around, having fun with it, man. It really wakes up the car too. It lets them breathe a lot better. They're pretty restricted from the factory, so that's why exhaust is my number 4. All right, guys, and last but not least, number 5. So my number 5 mod is gonna be headlights. If you have stock headlights still, or if you're looking to get a C5 Corvette, the stock headlights are terrible, I think. Some people say they're fine, but they're awful. I can't see anything with the stock headlights. That's the first thing I did when I got this car, was just throw some LED bulbs in it with the stock housing so I can at least see a little bit on the road. I know that's not the right thing to do, LEDs and a halogen housing, but that's besides the point. The stock headlights are absolutely terrible. They should not have been approved to drive on the road, honestly. Like, you can't see anything at night with them. And that's both of my C5s I've had have The stock headlights are just terrible. So my number 5 upgrade is gonna be aftermarket headlights. There's different options here. Right now I have the night drive, triple LEDs, which they're super bright. Love them, can see great at night. They look cool. But if you're not the fan of the sleepy eye look, there's the ACA projector housings, which is what I actually had before. I traded those for these, the current LEDs I have now. But I had the ACAs. They work pretty good. They're very pricey if you get the real ones, but they are a projector and you can throw an LED in them or an HID. They work pretty good though. I could see good at night with them. But yeah, there's different options. Then there's the, frog lights, which gets rid of the pop-up headlights. I think they look terrible. Most people hate them. They probably have good output. I don't really know. Then you also got Lucky Garage. He just dropped his Street Reaper, I believe is what they're called. Headlights that are non-pop-up, but they actually look really good. So yeah, there's that option as well. There's different options, man. Just do yourself a favor. Get rid of the stock housings. They're terrible. So yeah, if you actually drive your Corvette at night or early in the morning before the sun's out, man, please do yourself a huge favor and get some aftermarket headlights. Do some research in, see what you like best, see what looks best to you, and go with them. But the stock headlights are just terrible. And while we're on the topic of headlights, I wanted to add, there's easy way to fix them if your gears are stripped. So they make an aftermarket brass gear, which actually goes in the headlight motor. Stock they come with, it's just like a plastic gear that always breaks. I had to do that as soon as I got this car. It broke on me, of course. But they make brass gears that you can put in them. They'll outlast the life of the car, honestly. That's the easy solution to fix your motors if they are messed up and the plastic gears are stripped. Yeah, I think C5 Corvettes should have a different set of headlights, something that you can actually see at night. So like I said, man, that's gonna be my number 5 mod. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this kind of content, let me know. I would love to make more of it. Just let me know what you guys like to see down below in the comments. And if you agree or disagree with my mod selection, if you have a different list, let me know. Let's talk about it. I'm curious to see what you guys think and what you guys prioritize. Obviously, we can get into cam and more bolt-ons and stuff, but I think these simple top 5 upgrades, pretty affordable, and they really transform the driving experience. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your list would be, and let me know what kind of content you guys would like to see. Do you want to see more videos like this? Do you want to see more driving videos? More of me working on the car, which we're gonna have plenty of that this year, don't worry. It's just really cold out. I haven't really bought anything to do on the car lately, but believe me, plenty of stuff is coming for it this year in 2025. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Leave some comments below. Let me know what you think of this video. If you like videos like this, let me know, man. So appreciate you all for watching, and until next time, peace.